Hello guys, and welcome to my solo adventure on Rust. Today we're going to be playing on the Elite Boot Camp 2x server. So this is my first time playing on a 2x. With the idea I had for my base, I knew I'd need a lot of resources and a lot of components for it, so I decided that 2x would be the best place. So kind of looking at the map, you will see there are these dots that are not normal things, but those are those railroad bases. We'll come across those in a little bit. As you can see in the map, so like the south side is very PvE heavy in terms of its launch site, a banned military base, Arctic military base, and then the north side is more monument heavy. So there's like sewer branch, satellite dish, and other monuments there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build on that side of it just to get up and running, and then if we want, we can move down to the lower side later. But for what we have in mind, we kind of need a semi-quiet area just so we can get built up. So as you can see, there is scientists back. I got confused with it. I thought it was actually I thought it was one of the players. So I decided just to try and walk around them. And then when I just heard the beep of the radio, I knew I wasn't in that much danger. So I'm looking to build kind of by the lake there, the river, because it's near abandoned military base, mining outpost, harbour, satellite dish, water treatment, and sewer branch. So it's got a lot of resources, but it's also got a recycler. A lot of different recyclers I can use. So that's what we're kind of doing. So we're kind of going down there now. So like, since what you can see is I'm trying to see where people would build and what would happen. But unfortunately, I'm just kind of guessing at this point what we're doing. But no, we do have a very special base idea today. It's more of an experience than a base. What I mean by that is, so it's kind of a roleplay fantasy that I've been working on. I had a bit of a test base last wipe on my private server, and it seemed okay. I liked the idea, I liked how it worked, so I just kind of decided to just go all in on it. As you can see, the thing with the bubble there, that is a raidable base. So that one is probably extreme or nightmare difficulty, just because it's got external walls, and it'll also have then people inside for PvE, and then their little bases. I'm just going to try down a little 2x1 here, just so I can get started. I can start doing my loot runs, and then hopefully move out of this and go towards the big base. So please ignore the slow building. I'm still learning Rust. We're slowly getting there. But no, like I said, I was just really excited about trying to get this base up and running. We are about 24 hours after force wipe. So we are a little bit behind, especially on a 2x. That is a bit behind, so you will see that you will hear gunshots in the background and stuff. That's just because of how fast you can progress on a 2x. But no, so now that we have the base somewhat down, the reason I kept trying to see what was happening there was I kind of didn't realize I was out of wood, and I thought maybe I was trying to upgrade the same wall about 4 times. I wasn't. I was just out of wood. So when I lock my doors, do a little bit more chopping, and then I'm going to make the whole base wooden. At least that way I am somewhat protected, but like I said, with it being 24 hours after force wipe, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Now with this, we've run to mining outpost. We've not got the best luck. We've got a lot of cloth. We did get real lucky when we went over to the lighthouse. We got our green card, but we also got a stone fireplace, which is going to be fantastic, and a shotgun trap. I'm looking forward to using that as defense, just because right now it's a 2 wooden door raid and the walls are wooden, so it's not going to be that difficult to get into my base. But like I said, it wasn't a bad resource run. I got one of the most important items in the game. I got my bear rug, and I've also got a tier 1 now. So I know it's backwards. I copped it eventually, but I just took out the part of me editing it in. But I turned it around because I tried to use it, and I'm like, well, why can't I use it? And it's backwards. It was just me laughing at myself for about 5 minutes. So we are just doing another resource run here. So what I'm kind of doing is just going to Harbour. I'm going to do the green card because I got lucky with a fuse. And then just trying to basically build up the resources to get a tier 2, get the components I need, and then eventually go into my base. So what I've built now will just be the shell. We will actually be moving out of that completely, and then moving down the road or somewhere else for the event. Now it's odd enough, the 2 boxes spawn on top of each other. I'm not sure if 2 boxes spawned, or 1 box spawned and another box spawned, but that kind of confused me. One of the benefits of being on 2x is crude oil is not an issue. So I got like 380 there, and I still have 56 left. So there's a really nice balance between the amount of loot you get for the amount of effort you put in. But that's why I'm saying on the 2x servers, it's really easy to get ahead. And especially on this is a solo duo server. There is a lot of people playing the game right now. So I've got my couple furnaces down, which I'm happy with. Because of the refinery I did, it kind of get me down. I've now moved to metal doors just to make the raid a little bit harder, and hopefully I don't get raided. I think the only thing that's kind of saving me right now is because I'm next to a raidable base, an extreme one. I don't think people would wander over here. If maybe I was next to an easy raid base, I think I'd have some issues. So we're just doing another component from here. So we're just going to try to do the parkour in water treatment, sewer branch. Sorry, this took me a while to do. Not this run, but just to get the hang of it and how to actually do the parkour. What has to happen is probably what happened. Everyone on like the third jump, you have to jump out and jump in. I was just kept jumping and hitting my head off the thing and then dying. So I sat down, watched a YouTube video, and actually showed me how to do it, which was actually quite fun. And ever since then, I maybe fail 1 or 2 every so often, but it's not really an issue anymore for myself. So I'm doing my second green card. Now this is the sewer branch green card, which I do like because A, it does have some protection when the door closes. You're kind of safe, unless you get camped on the other side. Camping the only way out. But luckily this wasn't one of those times. So on the way home, I do see there is some bases. I do see a giant stone base down there. So I'm going to mark that on my map just so I know either A, what to avoid, or B, if we do get some explosibles, we can try and go into that. But right now, we're just going to avoid that because we have a bow and a pistol. So as you can see, there's now 2 bases here. So there's now a small base, which could bring someone over. So I kind of hope that there isn't going to be anyone like that. But it's not going to be too bad if you get me. So I'm on the way home, going to throw this inside. Now I do see a deer, so I do need low grade as well, just to be able to get the furnaces and keep them going. But I also need to be able to get the meat to eat alive. Now in the background you will hear some explosions. So what is actually happening is I think someone is doing a raidable base. So I was kind of going over to see what it is. I was contemplating, do I go back and make a pistol or do I not make a pistol? I decide my bow should be enough. Now once I kind of figure out what base is being done, in this case it's a medium base, I realistically should have went back and made a pistol. Just because if they're doing a medium base, that means they had to get through an outer wall, like an outer stone wall, and then they had to get through like inner walls. That means they at least have either explode ammo or rockets, satchels, or all of them. So I don't know, kind of thinking back, I really should have done it. I was watching it back and I saw myself in the menus like, why didn't we just go back and make a pistol? Unfortunately we didn't, but it's fine. So what we're doing is you can hear the explosions in the background, you can hear the shots. So what we're doing is we're just going to kind of hide. We're going to tactically, what's the word? We are going to have a tactical position that we're kind of hoping that once they finish, they'll run past and I'll be able to kill him. So hopefully there's only one of them here. It is a solo duo server, so I might get lucky and there might only be one. As you can see there, it says 2 of them have just finished the base. So that means there's going to be 2 of them here. This is where the pistol would have really come in handy, because I would have been able to have a pistol against 2 people. So what I've got right now is the element of surprise. I don't think they're expecting me to be here. I hope not expecting me to be here. So hopefully we can get the drop on one of them. Maybe they're splitting up, or maybe not going to run together. So hopefully we can just get something happening and I'm able to get some gears. So as you can see, we can hear him kind of running, and I'm just kind of biding my time until they're coming. Now you can also hear heli out. So I thought heli would be helpful to me, because I thought heli would lock onto them and then allow me to, me and heli would team up and we'd have a great team. But unfortunately, heli didn't. The reason I've unequipped my bow was I thought heli would try and shoot me if I had a bow, because I have bad luck with heli. Whenever I'm out and heli's out and I have anything on me, heli just shoots. So I kind of was like, maybe we'll put the bow away for the minute and the heli will attack them and then I win. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Now we can see one run past and then the second, and I'm like, I'll give it a go. So we actually get one off, and then we get shot. But then we get a second hit off. So he's low enough, but there's 2 of them with guns, and one of them has an LR. So I'm not winning this fight. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to retreat and actually try and get another angle. But unfortunately, their base is just on the other side of this island. So they're already there by the time I kind of went around that rock. So what I'm doing now is I'm just being annoying. They're taking heli. It's taking a while. So I'm just popping shots into them. Doing like, what, 20, 30 damage with the bow. Just trying to be a nuisance. Hoping, you know, that one of them will come out and try and kill me, and then I can take some guns and go. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. I thought I could do it, but unfortunately the game is just like, no, Colin, you don't get to do that. The lads aren't going to miss. So as you can see, it's getting late now, so they are taking heli. It's nearly gone. You can see I walked into fire because I'm an idiot, and heli has now crashed. So my thought process here is, we can get him with a bow because it worked so well the first time. So right now I'm waiting. I don't know why I waited here. I think I was waiting for him to go out and then be like, oh yeah, I can get him as he goes out, forgetting there's one in the building and now one on the crates. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of popping shots now, hoping to get 2 crits and 2 headshots and go. But there's no way I'm going to be able to A, get out there and kill him, and B, if I do kill him, not die to the person in the building. So unfortunately, I do get downed here. I do talk to him. I do say that took ages to take the heli. There's been a bit of trash talking in the chat. So remember this name. This name comes up quite a bit. Not always in my favor, but just remember the name Welsh Boy. So as you can see here, he's talking smack. I'm then talking it back, saying that took ages. Because it was like, that was about 20 minutes of a heli. Now in their defense, it was the first, I think, one of the first helis on the server. So I can understand why it took a bit of time, but it was kind of painful standing there. But look, the lads did it, and then I died. So after I lose that battle, I log out, just because I had to go do something for myself. I had to do another project. So I came back on, wasn't raided, always a good sign, and just checked the furnaces, and there. So now, you might have saw earlier with the furnaces, they do have in the bottom, it says like auto split, turn on, turn off. So if you have, say, sulfur in the inventory or something like that, you can pop it in and it'll automatically split it and populate the wood in there. Now if you have 5,000 wood and it only needs 1,000, it'll take the 5,000, but you can actually take off the extra. So it actually only will use the correct amount, which is really good when you use it for kind of barbecue. So that way you're not burning your meat. So with the loss of the gear I had, well, it was technically a bow, I decided to go do another run, hopefully trying to get something good here, and just like I said, just trying to build up that resources just to be able to get onto the next stage and actually build a house. So like I said, good reason run. Found a horse. His name is Buttercup. He will be with me throughout most of the wipe, which I'm actually happy with. Normally when I get a horse, either I lose the horse or someone takes the horse, but in this case it was going good. Like I said, really enjoyed it. Had Buttercup. Look, we're going again. So in this case we saw a drop happening in the distance. So I kind of went there with my trusty bow. I really should be starting to make pistols. I think I can make pistols and Tommies, but I'm just not the most confident in my PvP capabilities. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just be sneaky and win with bows. But that doesn't really work on like day after wipe day on a normal server, let alone a 2x. So my tactics do change up. Now I'm actually really happy with this crate. I got a Jackie, which is really helpful because I'm gonna need a mountain of stone for the base, and I also got a Tommy. So I've got something to go in case I get someone on the way home. So as you can see, going home, going for a little farming montage here, just picking up everything we can to make sure that when we go to the base, we do have everything there with myself. Now when I was kind of on the way home, I was very nervous. Because I was like, oh god, I'm just going to get sniped, someone's going to kill me, someone else is going to go for the box. But we got home safely and I wasn't that nervous. Placed down some boxes just because I didn't have a lot of storage. Now you will notice there is absolutely no organization to the boxes. That does change later, but right now I was just a case of let's just put everything in and see what happens. So we're going to go for a fuse. Now this time we're actually going to go to a blue room. So in this case we're going to run over to Sewer Patch. Now, I don't quite know how this happened, but I got my horse stuck on the car. So when I jumped off to get the box, he just kept running as I do, but then he actually got stuck in the car. So I spent about like a couple minutes here trying to figure out how to get him off it. Because he's right now he's just standing on air like. But no, I just had to give him a leash and bring him around, and then we're back on our way to Sewer Bench. So I like the roller room. I normally get camped on the inside, so the last couple times I did this, there was someone on the inside with a shotgun. Sometimes that's me, but like it's lucky. It's a not an overpopulated server, so I don't have to worry about dying 50 times. Gotta get the new Hazy skin. It's just I'm not living in the snow, but it's important to have. And like I said, we're going to go for the blue room. This will give us a red key card, which will then help us get down to launch or do oil rig. So that is kind of one of my goals for this wipe. It is to build my RP fantasy house and have that like live my RP fantasy. It's then also to do either an oil rig, so large or small, and also try and do a raidable base. So like I said, so that is kind of what we're aiming for. So the most important thing is we're going to build our house, build that fantasy, get people over, have a good time, and then in the meantime you'll be doing the other stuff as well. So I know I keep saying the word fantasy and all stuff, so what it is so I was playing on the previous wipe, and I was running a shop, and I would kind of undercut people. So like someone was like, oh man, I really need this, and I'm like, okay, look, it's in my shop. So it's kind of fulfilling a barter system, like you need X, I'll get X, you give me Y. And I was only kind of doing what people needed. Some people would say, man, I really need a ladder hatch. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get you a ladder hatch. It's in my shop for 1,000 sulfur, or whatever. And that kind of got me thinking, maybe we could do something like that in the next wipe. So that's kind of what the premise of this is. Now, I was really happy with this because I saw a locked crate at water treatment. And I was remembering the last time I was at water treatment, there was no one here, it was just me. So what I decided was like, let's just actually go give it a run. Now, I didn't plan on it being nighttime. The nighttime was kind of a bit of bad luck because I don't have a torch on my gun. I was kind of expecting it to stay daytime. Now, because it has gone nighttime, I didn't want to stay in the roller room because there's only one way out of that building, and if someone is, let's say, camping the crate and they hear movement in the roller room, then they know Colin has to come through the top door. So my thought process was, let's get out of roller room and kind of sneak our way around and kind of wait for time to come down and then get the stuff and run. Which was kind of the goal, just because with the crates, if I got C4, if I got rockets, I don't think I can get rockets, but I can get C4, I can get AKs, I can get a lot of good stuff in them, which could really help me progress in my goals. So I decided to kind of sit outside just because I thought that it would work better, so I could hear someone coming, and also I'm close to the crate and I can hear it when it pops. Now I do see a supply drop in the distance, so I'm actually going to mark that on my map, just so after I get this loot and drop it home, I'm able to go get more loot, and the cycle continues, you know. Get loot, more loot, bring it home, find it, lose it, and then just get sad. Which is kind of what's going to happen to eventually, you know what? Just right now. And it happened to be our good friend, Welsh Boy. So you can kind of see where this is going. So every video needs a enemy, an antagonist, and that is Welsh Boy is mine. He don't know if he knew this. But he was mine. He was we added a new goal to the list of this video, which was to kill him and maybe raid him. The reason we put maybe raid is because we've already seen his base, and that was second day into wipe, and the base is very big. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to manage to raid that base. But look, when Rust closes a door, it opens a window. So I didn't get the loot out of my locked crate, which I'm sad about, but I did get the loot out of this storage crate. On the plus side, I got C4 from this. So I got C4 and MP5 scrap and bullets. So look, I don't know what Welsh boy got from the locked crate, but I'm willing to bet it's may not been as good as my storage crate. So getting all this home was very tedious. I was very nervous, just because it's like, if I lose this, that means I'll have died again, and I've lost all this stuff. So it was just kind of a bad on bad, if that makes sense. So I was really happy I got this home. It was a little morale boost for myself, and I do actually start kind of going down the tree to unlock all the stuff for my farm. Because what the way the base is going to work is we're going to have like a legitimate storefront. So we're going to have a tea shop. So for me to do that, I'm going to need to have all the necessary tea components. So I'm going to have to make them. Because I spent most of the last wipe learning genetics. It kind of worked. It was a bit of hit and miss. Like I said, we would occasionally do something right, then do something wrong, and then try and genetically move stuff, and it just wouldn't work. But look, it's a learning experience. We only got a little bit sad, and then we just carried on. Now, I don't know why I thought I could kill this bear before he killed me with full health. Only my brain was like, let's get up close to him, and then we can pop the shots off. Wasn't a good idea. So I came out with everything. I came out with a jackhammer, a sword, an axe, a pickaxe. Like, I was ready for this fight. Unfortunately, he left, which I was having none of. So I swapped everything around, and then we are going to get some revenge. Look, I've died to Welsh boy too many times. I've died to boars. I need a win here. I need to kill something. And unfortunately, the polar bear was on top of that list. Now, I didn't realize how far these things will run to get away. So this is about 4 blocks away now. I'm now just popping shots because I thought channel my inner Robin Hood and go just fly it, let the arrows fly. Didn't go anywhere near him. So I'm next to satellite dish now. So I'm about 6 blocks away from my house, and we just finally get the bear. It took so long. So I got him. I got all the stuff, and then I cooked his body, which made me happy. You know, I was like, yeah, that's a win for me. It's a win. Finally got my tier 2 as well, so now you can start working on tier 2 guns. So now I don't need to be as worried about losing my tier 2 guns. So the reason we're stashing this is I heard gunshots and explosions in the background, and I checked the map, and there was another base being raided. So another raidal base being done. So I was like, okay, this is my chance for revenge. I'm going to do it. So I bury that, put a sleeping bag next to it, call it my stash, because that's what my stash is. And then I run home, and I put everything away that I had, because I had a couple of good things on me that I didn't want to lose. I had my TC because I was building a new base. So I just wanted to put everything in here. So once we've got everything in, we then just F1 kill ourselves, spawn on the stash, and we have high hopes. We have very high hopes for this, because we can't lose 3 fights in a row. You know, we just, like, the game wouldn't be mean to us like that. The game would be like, look, Colin, you've had a rough couple hours on the server. You're gonna have a nice relaxing time. I'm like, I believe you. You know, game, I believe that you're gonna do it for me. You know, but it's just I just had faith, you know. And the fact I actually had taught me to do the stash and the stuff was actually really, really good. So I was able to actually get it off. So what I can do is, as I'm running back towards the base now, I'm trying to think, will I sit here? Will I move up? I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually going to do. And what we see in the distance is we actually see a torch. So I imagine one of them died near the base, at the railway base, and he's going to run back. So what we're going to do is, I was thinking, do I just kill him here and run up? But if he came out of that base, that's the base with the duo. So if I kill him, he's just going to respawn over there, and then his partner knows I'm coming. So I decided just to follow back, just to follow him over and see what exactly is the play here. Just because it is also night, and I didn't really want to have to run in, kill him, and then have his teammate know I'm coming. So the idea was, just let him run up, let him get his gear, let them finish the base. This time I have guns. Well, I have a gun, so it should be a 50-50. You know, that was my plan. So I was kind of waiting for him to do it. Now, at this point, I was actually like, okay, what we're going to do is we actually might try and run in and just see how they're doing. But unfortunately, I hear someone running back. And then I happen to be seen by the person running back. So I have to actually take my shots. Just because I've been seen and there's nothing I can do. On the plus side, we did get revenge against Welsh Boys. So that is a win. That is 100% a win and a half. Now, we are kind of crouching. So the reason it's kind of changed daytime is they decided to kind of take the base slower because they were scared and they knew I was here. It's 100% the reason. But then you can hear still them. You can hear them still throwing satchels, throwing grenades. So they're still working their way through the base. As you can see, I've entered the PvP zone. So what that means is the game will keep me alerted that there is a PvP and there is loot in there. So you can see how it is going down. That means they are taking the loot or they despawn the loot. So my plan was let them get the loot, let them bring the loot to me, you know, let them bring the loot, let me kill them, and then the loot is mine. Because I was just like, yeah, it's 100% efficient what's going to happen. Like I said, the last time I only lost because they had guns and I didn't have guns. That's 100% the only reason I lost last time. So as you can see, since I didn't participate in the raid, I don't get any loot. So that means I can't go in and steal the loot. But it doesn't mean that I can't kill them and steal their loot. So my plan was to kind of just let them come out, let them get a little bit ahead, and then just absolutely beam them down. So that was the idea. Now, so in theory, it's a good idea. You know, I have faith in my Thompson spray. It's like on UKVN, I get maybe 40%, which isn't bad. I mean, like it means that my first couple of bullets hit. So, like I said, if I can just get 2 good sprays, I'm walking away with 2 inventories of loot. Now, what happened here was, so I took my shots, but he apparently was alt looking because they knew I was there, and he happened to see me move as I moved. So, my element of surprise was kind of gone, which was kind of sad. But look, it was Welsh Boy again. So the score is currently 3-1. I'm counting my kill as a victory because it doesn't matter that he was naked and it was dark. He died and I shot him, so that's a victory for me. So with that loss fresh in my head, I decide that I need to actually go build. I need to go build just because I'm not really winning in the PvP side of stuff. So I want to go build my fantasy casino and just have a fun time. And then they'll come to me and they'll just give me all the loot because they'll want to come hang out in my area. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I like to do. I like to do that. That'd be fun. Well, that is the dream anyway. Whether or not it actually happens is different, but that's the plan. So I decide I like this area. This area hasn't been mean to me. It's when I've left this area, life has been mean. So I actually decided to move over because like, where'd be a nice place for a casino? On the cliffs, because I need somewhere that's got water for the tea shop. So I go, okay, so what I'll do is I'll build near the ocean. Now the reason why this is sped up is like no joke. This is like 500 times speed because I had no plan for this. Sorry, I had a plan in my head of something, but this just took me so long to figure out. And I was like, how many floors is this? How many floors do I want? Is this too many floors? Where to stay? How am I going to get up? So I just kind of sped it up just because I just found that was going to be an easier time. I then also forgot that I could break stuff with because I put the TC down there. I could break stuff, so I had to shoot some stuff earlier. So like this was just a bit of a rough build for myself because this was the most confusing part. Because the rocks were not connecting, and that means they won't level. I was struggling to kind of get my base to connect to the other side. So this is kind of, I've cut some of this out because this took maybe 40 minutes of me just trying to figure out how am I going to connect my base to things. Like I can't really just have a random wall there now because it's not coming off right, and I can't put down a foundation. So I was like, how do I get this working? And then my brain was like, just keep putting down triangles and eventually something will work. Which is kind of what I did. It's a little bit scuffed, but look, that's part of the charm. You know, it's part of the charm. So how this is gonna work? This is gonna be a 3-story building. So the first floor, which is where I'm currently on right now, I'll be giving you a walkthrough later anyway. The first floor is going to be the shop front. So this is where we're going to have our vending machines. That's going to be able to sell all of the tea we're going to make. Like that is going to be the legitimate business side of the front. Because every speakeasy and every illegitimate business needs a legitimate business on the front side. So that's kind of what this is. So upstairs is going to be the legitimate side of the business, and that's where all of the vending machines go, all my tea factories, everything. So you can walk in and then be like, oh yeah, I'll buy some tea. Yeah. And then there'll be a special way you can actually come in, and then you can get access to the second floor, and then eventually the third floor. Yes, like I said, it's been probably about 40 minutes of me building, and I'm still rebuilding it because I have no idea what I'm doing. Because what I wanted to have like kind of turrets over here just to protect me, but then I realized I built a square foundation and I couldn't really get it working right, so I just spend some more time trying to build. I then give up on that side and go, well, let's build the second floor first. And I kind of get a bit worried about what I'm actually trying to do. Like I said, so first floor is going to be the shop. Second floor is going to be a speakeasy. So what a speakeasy, if anyone doesn't know, a speakeasy is something from like the 20s, 30s when there was prohibition. So a speakeasy was like it'd be a front, and then next door to it or near somewhere to be a place where you could actually get like alcohol and be discos. So it's kind of like an illegal bar is the best way to put it. So I was thinking, okay, top floor be shop, second floor be speakeasy, so we'd have like disco floor, disco balls, lasers, like the fog machines, everything going. Casino, spinning wheels, that side. And then the bottom floor, this would kind of be like where you'd either want to be brought to if you needed a favor, or this is kind of where you get brought to if you've done something bold. So I was kind of thinking, I was basically thinking this would be like a mobster stuff. So I would be like the mobster of the server. So if you need something done, or you need like, oh yeah, Colin, I need 1,000 scrap for, I don't know, to go build something. My brain was like, yeah, so you would come and ask me to give you the 1,000 scrap. And then I'd be like, yeah, no bothers, I'll give you the 1,000 scrap. And then you pay me back with interest. And then that's kind of the go-to plan. Or if you said, Colin, I'm having issue with, let's say for instance, Welsh boy, you know, I'm having issues with Welsh boy, like that's fine. What we'll do is we'll take care of him for you. Or if you're like, Colin, I need help, I will do X, Y, and Z. So it's kind of you'd come to me, and like I said, we live in a full roleplay fantasy here. And like I said, I'm really excited to try and get this up and running, and I hope you guys really enjoy what we do at the end of it. Because like I said, it's taken a lot of time to try and figure out this concept. Like I said, it'll probably work better in later videos when I might revisit this again in a bit, just so then it is a bit more coherent, in terms of it is a better build. But like I said, this is the first example, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we do. Like I said, so we're just getting down our doors. Now I know what you're thinking. How is it really going to be hidden? What's going to stop people from just walking out the back? So it's a good question. So what we're going to have is at this door here. So this door now to my left, this one I'm going through now, will be hidden, and that's going to be hidden behind a locker. The reason we're using a locker is because the locker will be able to be picked up by myself and also put down, and there's no durability loss. There's going to be no case of where I'm needing to constantly repair it. So that's kind of why I've gone with the locker. So we've just laid the foundation for our dance floor. We're going to get down the garage doors. We're putting down the mixing table because we are a legitimate business, and every legitimate business does need to have a business premise. Mine is making teas. So that crate is also going to be in for storage boxes, just so it looks more like a storage area. We're going to put down our disco ball. Got to put down the fireplace for pure ambience. Going to get some boxes just so we have some storage, and then we're going to put carpets. And my dream for this is to have carpets everywhere. I put down some better garage doors that look much nicer. I get down a sofa, because if you're going to go dancing, you're going to get tired and you're going to need a sofa. Like, we've thought about everything. So we have the table, this is where I'm going to sit. So when you come down to my office, I will be sitting in this little chair, and I'll have a chair for you on the other side. But as you come around the corner, you'll just see me sitting there like I am the boss. I specifically picked these carriage doors because A, they look like fancy curtains, which is what I want, but B, also they actually light up along the bottom. so it looks like little lights. But look at that. Look how nice this place looks with that fire. Like, imagine just walking in here for a good reason, because you're not being in trouble, obviously, and you just see that. Like, that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going for that kind of vibe of just, this place looks fantastic. Like I said, I'd be happy living here. So what I do is I do my last pickup of the game. So I take all the good stuff from the from my old base to my new base, just so everything is moving over. Now, I was very nervous about doing this run because I had like 10,000 sulfur, I had my tier 1, tier 2, I had guns, I had green cards, I had red cards, I had pretty much everything that was useful on me here. So if I died here, I'd be very sad. Because like, what, 10,000 sulfur? Wait, 10,000 cooked sulfur. So it isn't even just sulfur, it's actually cooked sulfur. So the end goal here is to have lights here that'll be hanging down so you can see when you come in, have that blocked by the garage, have the disco automated so you can switch, turn it on, turn it off. Like, say the cops are coming, turn the disco off, hide the door, no one's any the wiser, if you get me. But like, just look at how this feels, look at the vibe. Like, this is what I want. I want this nice cozy place where you can go, man, look how cool this is. And that's the kind of vibe we're going for. So guys, I'm just going to take the last couple minutes just to wrap up. Like I said, I genuinely hope you guys liked the video. I'm looking for feedback, as this is my first long form content, probably the longest video I've ever made. It is, like I said, part 1 of 2, so there will be another part coming out in the near future. So hopefully I'm going to take any suggestions you have from this video onto that one, and then you can see what the base looks like when it's fully done. Like I said, I'm really proud of it. It's probably, like I said, my favorite build I've done so far. I just love like the feel, the atmosphere in here, just the fire, the table, the carpets. It's just kind of what I love. So guys, I hope you have a lovely evening, and thank you all for watching.